And while all that's going on, of course, we have some important business to take care of in the qualifiers, the Super 8 qualifiers. We've been calling them the Middle Eights all year, and the Middle Eights feature the bottom four of the Super League against the top four of the Championship, and we have the league leaders of the Championship, the Leeds Centurions, against the Challenge Cup finalists Hull Kingston Rovers. That's at 3 o'clock. It's live on Sky Sports 1. And followed quickly by the latest game from the Super 8, Catalan Dragons against the champion St Helens, 4:55, Sky Sports 3. You have to access that via the red button on your handset. So big weekend. And here at Headingley, the Leeds Rhinos are ahead by 24 points to 6 against the Warrington Wolves. Warrington ahead early on, 6-0, courtesy of the Kevin Penny try and the first points in Super League for the new recruit Chris Sandow. But then Watkins, Briscoe, Hardacre and Maguire got Leeds going, and Sinfield has added 4 goals. 24-6 then, the Leeds Rhinos. And the team still in the dressing rooms right now. 6 wins for Leeds from the last 7 matches in the League and Cup. Only Wigan have beaten them in that sequence. The Warriors come here in the Super 8s next Friday. We have a delay to the start of the second half. The South Standers being very patient indeed. So let's look at the first half tries from here again and remind ourselves of the action that we have seen here. Steve-O, Phil and Brian are alongside me, and this was, after a rickety old start from Kevin Penny, the best possible response from him, Phil.
Well, we got to see the reason why Warrington was so keen to bring Darrell Clark to the club. He seems to have phenomenal strength, pushing off the defenders, and then the support of Kevin Penny. Kevin Sinfield made that look simple, didn't he? Drawing the man and releasing Callum Watkins after that end of the field. And this was one of my favourite combinations. 2 quick passes and then the long ball out to Tom Briscoe on the wing. They looked then in full control.
6 passes in this play. Zach Hardacre, wonderful break as well. Sorry, this is the next play I'm talking about. That's Zach Hardacre's try, continuing his brilliant season. This is the one with 6 passes that ends in the Danny Maguire try. And the key man at the very end of it is Adam Cuthbertson. Manages to offload a ball. Rhys Evans gets a tip on the ball. So see it now. Carl Ablett bounces off him. No knock on. Kick from Ablett. Kick from Maguire. And grounds it. Pushed them out to a 22 points to 6 half-time lead. And the Warrington Wolves under quite a bit of pressure. The Leeds Rhinos looking quite comfortable at the moment, Phil.
I'm not surprised the Wolves looked under pressure when we look at this possession of the first half. Those are the number of play the balls in that part of the field. Leeds are running from right to left. They had 5 sets more than their opponents. And quite you can see a lot of it obviously in their own half of the field, but a significant number, 11 play the balls close to their own line, which was stress testing the Warrington's defence on that end of the field. We turn it over and look, their opponents here tonight, Warrington, who started well, but just look how they've been A, starved of possession, and B, starved of field position.
Yeah, the interesting figures there, Phil, are 14 and 12 play the balls in the middle for the Warrington Wolves. Targeting Leeds around the middle, but not having any joy. Just that one Darrell Clark break for them in the whole game. But Leeds around that middle with Garbutt, with Peacock, with Luloi, all looking very comfortable in defence against the Warrington Wolves' big men.
Well, it's interesting as well when we look at that, the fact that Warrington, I mean, we've looked at Leeds and their attack, but in defence, they missed just 3 tackles to the 15 of their opponents. So not only did they not have a lot of ball, it was very hard to use that ball effectively, and I think that's obviously they want to hope that they can turn that round in the second 40.
Well, the Warrington players out and getting ready for the delayed start to the second half, and they are just warming up because they have got some big business to do in the second 40, trailing at half-time the way that they are. Do you see any hope for the Warrington Wolves at all?
I think there is hope, Eddie. There's some quality players on that side, but they got some massive issues to address in this second half. Not least the team that they're playing against and what they can do to stop this Leeds Rhino side. Not only are they having joy with the offloads from Peacock, from Cuthbertson, from Garbutt, when they get their hands free. They can't seem to deal with Hardacre, Hall and Briscoe at the back, who are getting into dummy half or one out and running and making great yards and pushing Warrington backwards. They seem to be on the back foot all the time. For Chris Sandow to perform when the Warrington Wolves get the ball, they've suddenly got to get on the front foot. They need Chris Hill to have a big game. They need Ashton Sims to have a big game. They need Anthony England and Roy Asatasi, two physically big men, to step up and start challenging this pack. Because there's only one pack in it, and because of that, there's only one team in it, and that's the team of the South Standers, the Leeds Rhinos.
You're right there, Brian, and mainly due to the fact that you look at the forwards, Warrington, you talk about Sims and England, they really are big merchants. They're heavy, they're strong, but they can't offload just like their opposition. Garbutt, Peacock, and of course the loose forward today, Adam Cuthbertson. And that has been the stark difference between the two, and the three quarters are enjoying that, well, shall we say, freedom. Warrington's defence has been A-OK for a while and then just seems to get themselves into a little bit of a muddle. Lack of coordination. At times they have a man-on-man. Sometimes they'll have a sliding defence. It's difficulty, and it's difficult to stop this Leeds outfit.
Well, it looks like we're just about ready for the start of the second half. There has been just a medical emergency inside of the stadium, which now has been dealt with by all the specialists. And so Warrington get the second half back in motion, courtesy of Chris Sandow. And as I say, it's a big hill now for Warrington to climb as Chris Hill gets in there with the first tackle.
Well, you think that Leeds, with such a commanding lead, 24-6, that they'll just go through the motion at the moment. But Warrington have to realise that Leeds are quite adept at being able to attack from deep within their own half. They've done it so many times this season, and this Warrington defence has got to be aware of that. It's
Leeds who are in possession with Ayton, and he finds Jamie Peacock. He gets Leeds over the halfway line once again. They've reached the fifth tackle, so kick to come here, you would imagine, from Kevin Sinfield. He finds his way to Sinfield. He's running it to Maguire. And it's a good race by Warrington's defenders. It's hacked forward by Richie Myler, but hacked only into the possession of Leeds once again. And here comes Zach Hardacre once more.
Well, the official James Child said it's back to a second set. They had the opportunity there, but Warrington couldn't get onto the ball.
So Ayton from dummy half looks for the runners, and it's Cuthbertson, and again he flings the ball out the back door, and Delaney's on the end of it, and Delaney makes inroads into this Warrington defence once again.
And that's the advantage of Brian McDermott, the Rhinos coach, has so much depth to bring on the likes of Delaney.
Oh, that's a gift. Here goes Richie Myler now. And has Myler got the speed to get there? He's got Monaghan in support as well. Ryan Hall comes across and cuts him down. Well, one end of the field to the other in the blink of an eye. Here is Hardacre once more. Beg your pardon. Here is Stephen Ratchford once more, the Warrington fullback.
Well, they've got to keep this ball alive, a la what the Leeds have done so far of Warrington. They know they've got to score very, very early in the piece. Just put a little bit of doubt in this Leeds defence. They've got to score within the next 5 minutes to have any chance of getting back in this game.
Sandow to Myler. Myler drops the ball onto the foot, and that went harmlessly into the arms of Kevin Sinfield, and Leeds will play the ball 10 metres away from their own line.
Oh, what a wonderful offload. What a step! He's got the speed!
Watkins has got 5-6 players tracking him back. They get to him eventually. They're asking for a knock-on. Sandow says he's knocked it on. Touch judge disagrees. Play on. This is Peacock.
He didn't expect that, Peacock.
Good job he came back the other way, because Sinfield standing in the line there could easily, Leeds then have been penalised for the obstruction. Ayton, Delaney.
Boy, wasn't it great feet there by Callum Watkins. A little in and out, and away he went.
Reached the fourth tackle. Still 2 more remaining. Here goes Garbutt again.
He's impressed me, this big fella. Puts himself about, looks for work.
Goes down on the 5th. Sinfield. Sinfield gives it to Maguire. Slides the kick in. Does Maguire. No reward. No reward forthcoming for Leeds, but from one end of the field to the other, a real helter-skelter start to this second half.
Well, the idea was there. It was just a little bit too strong there by Danny Maguire.
Real battle going on. Hull against Castleford, 22-24. That match live now on Sky Sports Extra via the Sky Sports website or the Sky Sports iPad app. Let's go down to Rod Studd on the sideline as Warrington mount this attack. He's got the half-time news.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. For as far as Leeds are concerned, as you expect, everything going into Brian McDermott's script as they've carried on pretty much where they left off from that Challenge Cup semi-final victory against St Helens. Their offloading game has caused Warrington all sorts of problems, and so has the kicking game. It's really been a near-perfect performance. Tony Smith pointing to that try just before half-time as a significant moment. Danny Maguire stretching the lead from 10 points to 16 when he was given the nod by the video rep, and pretty pleased with the way Warrington have hung on in there, although it accepts it's an uphill task now. Some injury news. Anthony England has got elbow ligament damage, Eddie. He's gone for the night. And also Warrington denying a lot of rumours that are circulating at the moment that they've signed Carl Eastman, who's been cut from the England Rugby Union World Cup squad. They say there's no deal for Eastman in place whatsoever.
Well, that puts that one to bed for the time being.
That's the trouble with rumours, Eddie. Sometimes they come true, other times they fall. Oh, another great run from Peacock. It's amazing how this man keeps going.
You must know about the rumours because you start most of them.
Now.
This is Maguire. Maguire then to Watkins. And Maguire waits a dummy half, 30 metres away. Just drills the ball into touch once again.
You open up the discussion with this show about the way that Leeds Rhinos play. They see Danny Maguire step into dummy half and just roll it out into touch. And you compare it with teams that play a very structured game. That structured game, you get the feeling at times it's imposed by the coaches on the team for very, very good reasons at times, and they get success out of it. When I watch the Leeds Rhinos play and look at the team sheet and look at the cameras at half-time when Brian McDermott's sitting back and allowing Kevin Sinfield to talk and Jamie Peacock to talk, I think he's a facilitator. I think they're playing this way because the players on the field want to play this way and can play this way. Cuthbertson has certainly sparked them this season, but I think you're looking at a team that are playing the way they have told their coach they want to play, not the other way around.
6 minutes of this second half have gone, and Rhys Evans trying to get the ball up the other end of the field. Of course, Warrington are lacking several first-team stars here tonight, but that's a good ball from Sandow to Ratchford, and Ratchford, now then, can he do to Hardacre? Oh, well, that's even better because he's got the ball out wide to Kevin Penny, and Penny goes over for his second try. And Warrington score first in the second half through that man, exactly as they did in the first. Kevin Penny with the try. They're into double figures. And just maybe, the fight back's off.
Yeah, beautiful little pass from Chris Sandow out wide. Look at that, it just brings him through. Ratchford came on the angle and then goes on the arc out wide. Briscoe couldn't get back in time. Beautiful pass by the fullback Ratchford. This is sheer quality, but watch how Ratchford, when he gets the ball, comes back on the angle, then goes on the arc. He's pulling the defence away, draw the fullback. You can see Briscoe has no chance. That is a classic try.
Wonder whether Ratchford was going to do to Hardacre what Hardacre did to him in the first half, but the pass out wide was inch perfect for this man, and Penny, with all the speed in the world, over in the corner. And Warrington first to score again at the start of this second half. Sandow then, he had an easy task with his first from hanging front. This is much more difficult. And he's just pulled it the wrong side of the uprights. 24-10 though, Leeds.
Great break from Warrington Wolves. Just want to have a look at how Leeds Rhinos try and defend this. In particular, Tom Briscoe is playing on the right wing. And the communication that Briscoe has with Zach Hardacre. He's trying to cover Penny, telling Zach Hardacre, you take Ratchford, I've got Penny. Ultimately, he didn't have the speed. But it shows you the thinking that the players have to do at full speed, the communication they have to have at full speed.
The point you're making, Brian, they're not all just chasing the man with the ball.
No, they can't do that. That makes it too easy for the attacking side. And so Briscoe, brilliantly on that occasion, told Hardacre to take care of Ratchford, forced the pass out of Ratchford. Unfortunately, Tom Briscoe hadn't got the pace to catch up with Kev Penny.
Ashton Sims Gets it as far as Adam Cuthbertson, Brett Delaney, and that man, Jamie Peacock. Peacock again in the tackle. To bring the next runner down, young Sam Wilde. Here's Ashton Sims again, taking the battle forward. Warrington will be effervesced by that early score in the second half.
Well, it certainly lifts the spirits, that's for sure. And mentioned the fact they had to score quite early in the second stanza. You know, you look at the prop forwards and the difference, and oh, that's good defence. He's had a big game.
Lost the ball, didn't he?
I think he went backwards though. Oh, it's put it down as a knock-on.
The call's come in from the touch judge, I think, Stewart, on this near side.
That's right, and I think it was before that time where the ball came out loose. He was called before that. I think it's lost then.
Well, he tried
the tackle on Brad Dwyer.
He tried his damnedest, didn't he? But the defence of Callum Watkins, you know, over this season, really has upped the tempo in that department. As Callum Watkins, we all know his quality with ball in hand.
Let's remind ourselves, no Ormsby, no Bridge, no Atkins. There's also no Anthony England, there's no Ben Harrison, there's no Ben Westwood. Warrington are down on numbers.
This might seem like a little bit of a segue here, Eddie, but you need a good surface to play on. This surface looks incredible here. He's got camera shots of it down low, up high. I mean, the players are playing absolutely the best surface they can possibly ask for, certainly suiting the Leeds Rhinos at the moment.
I think he does, Brown. With the footwork, a lot of the Leeds players, there's another offload, but a lot of them change direction when they play on.
Peacock's lost the possession. It'll be a free play, and they'll bring it back. A real schmozzle in the end.
It was. Just
Looks
talking
like
the free play, I wonder whether, well, I'm sure that Tony Smith would have mentioned to Chris Sando that we have that rule in the Super League, which he didn't have in the NRL. Might be a brand new facet of the game.
I'm sure they sat him down and gave him the interpretation.
Well, he would have watched us live, so we'd have known about the free play.
Too true.
Watched us live in Australia all season.
Well, he does. He does.
Yes,
He said he
he has.
watched them all. They get them, I think, on Tuesday nights as well. If he doesn't watch it live, they get repeats on Tuesday nights. And he's certainly a man that likes his rugby league. Warrington have to create an environment for Chris Sandow, and Chris Sandow has to create an environment for himself as well that allows him to play his best rugby league. If that happens, he could light up Super League, Eddie.
What a tackle by Paul Ayton. Not that one that he's just done, but the one before that. He's had a tremendous game as a hooker.
He's had a great season.
Yeah, but tonight he's been on song.
I know Leeds did their best to keep him, Paul Ayton, but he decided to go next year to the Catalan Dragons. He will leave an almighty hole. There'll be holes all over the place for Leeds, with Sinfield and Peacock disappearing, and it's Kylie Lulawai decided he's going as well. So
Yeah, it's a big turnover in the off-season.
Briscoe has dropped that. It's a knock on. This is free play. If not that, it's a zero.
That's the kick we call for, Eddie. That's the spiral bomb that Chris Sandow put up off his boot. Beautiful. And Tom Briscoe, who's good under a ball, had difficulties taking that one down.
This is Roy Asatazi, so a huge chance here for Warrington to score second try in this second half. And Myler floats it wide and gets it to Rhys Evans, but that's good defence from Danny Maguire. Monaghan wants to get on with it quickly. Give the ball inside to Myler. He then lets Ashton Sims have a run. And Ashton Sims has left Ayton on the floor. This is Brad Dwyer. And Brad Dwyer, good tackling by Brad Singleton.
Was it ever? Sinfield over the top, so he couldn't offload.
Last tackle here. Sandow with the kick to the in goal, looking for Rhys Evans, finds Rhys Evans. And what's happened here? Where's the ball ended up? Knock on by Warrington, says the referee. It's a turnover. Let's have another look at this spiral bomb, Brian, from Chris Sandow.
I've stood under a few of those, not from Chris Sandow, but dropped plenty of them as well. Let me tell you, you can just see that that's a great camera angle to show you the trajectory of the ball in the air. And that's the reason Tom Briscoe couldn't get a hand on that one. Warrington Wolves got possession. We called for more of it in the first half. They're going to need more of that in the second half, Eddie, to get themselves a chance in this game.
Well, we're watching that. Paul Ayton having some treatment on the run. Looks like he's damaged his right arm or his wrist. One of the two, and he's actually now being taken from the field. It's a change for the Leeds Rhinos.
Yeah, he went in awkward in the tackle, just about 5 metres out from his own goal line.
It's about the cue to bring on Rob Burrow. He comes on and will add a little bit again, a little bit extra maybe to this side, and immediately does.
Well, he always does, especially against a tiring outfit. And Warrington have had to get through a lot of defence. So a lot of energy will be expelled by them. Oh, that's a good charge down.
Charge down. And who's first to it? Ben Curry. Has he knocked that ball forward? Yes, he has. It's 0 tackle. It's 6 to go. Here goes Tom Briscoe weaving his way through. Gets the ball away to Hardaker. He brushes off Myler. Goes inside Hill. Goes round Rashford. Wow! Oh, wow! Look at this! That's the try of the week. That will be top of Phil's famous 5. Second try for Zach Hardaker. What a peach! What a peach of a try from the Leeds fullback.
They don't come much better than this. And he knows it too. He knew he had men outside, but he had the confidence, he had the skill, he had the step. This was the charge down. They got to it. It was good work there by Callum Watkins. Then Briscoe just weaves his way in, and then at the last moment pulls it through. Handoff. What's that? Step number 1. This is number 2. Here comes the third one. And he gets to the line. What a TRY. Oh boy. Everyone here, the Leeds fans, they are on their feet. We often talk about twinkle toes. Look at the balance on this man's body. He knew he had it. He had the confidence. And as Eddie said, that is a try of the week.
Well, it might be. The man alongside us makes the choice of Phil Clarke's top 5, of course, but that one has to be a contender, Phil.
It is. It's one of the greatest jobs I've got every Sunday afternoon stroke evening when all the tries are available on the Sky Sports website. You can click in and see the highlights from the games that have been played that afternoon. And it's a great honour, really, to be able to see the wonderful skill, the speed, sometimes the look and the action that we have. The best tries each week. I think you're right, Eddie. I've been very surprised and delighted if anything can get better than that.
And the Phil Clarke 5 is published on a Monday on our website as well. Sinfield adds the extras. Leeds have weathered the early storm.
Yeah, Tom Briscoe wasn't able to collect the Chris Sandow ball, but he was able to collect the ball spilled on the ground. The free play, he wasn't waiting around. And he gave the ball to Zach Hardaker. Now, Stephen Ratchford playing at fullback has got to do better than that. Take nothing away, I suppose, from Zach Hardaker's ability, his speed, his skill. And Kevin Penny tries valiantly at the very end to try and hold Zach Hardaker up. The ball just touches the ground at the end, and he goes over for a memorable try.
Well, Zach Hardaker has been the best fullback in the first 23 rounds of the Super League, and it looks, Eddie, from what I've seen this evening, I should say, that he's likely to be the best fullback in the next 7 rounds as well. Anybody who can play better than him, well, he'll certainly deserve it, the honour if you can.
And what a match is taking place on Sky Sports Extra. That also is available on the website or the Sky Sports iPad, and you can have a look at that. You can also keep your eye on that. You can keep 2 eyes and 2 ears on this. I'm a little bit like somebody who knows nothing what he's talking about, but I think you get the drift. It's the Sky Sports for iPad app. That's where you find it. It's a hell of a title, I must say.
A bit of garble doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. But
I know if you press buttons on the thing, you find it. That's all.
Yeah, well, I have trouble just opening it.
I got it last time anyway when the Salford were on. I'll be watching tomorrow.
What a big hit there from Luluai. Oh boy, Sims felt that one. Some of these defence from, especially from Leeds, has been brutal. And Peacock, how he just keeps going is beyond belief. Good work there by Sandow.
Neat play by Sandow. He's shown
Peacock,
glimpses tonight, hasn't he, of what he's got.
I think he's made a decent debut. I really do.
I think he's been unlucky to come and make his debut here tonight against the Leeds side. The best in the comp on a night when they really are at the peak of their powers.
And play behind the beaten pack. That's the most important point. We can be very critical of halves and backs sometimes. They've got to play behind the forward pack that are going forward and that are bending the opposition backwards. There's only one team doing that today, and it's the Leeds Rhinos. And it's making things easier. Kevin Sinfield will tell you, Danny Maguire will tell you, as long as the forwards are going forward, flicking the ball around, it makes their life an awful lot easier.
Well, Warrington are upping the ante in defence. Ashton Sims is seeing to that. Brett Delaney felt it. Sinfield gets the ball away to Kylie Luluai. We're mentioning all these players, of course, and Chris Sandow, we'll see him next week on Sky Sports when Warrington go to Castleford on Thursday. We'll see Leeds against Wigan back here again next Friday night. So over this next 7 rounds of the Super League, you're going to see the top matches live here on Sky Sports, either with us on the main channels or on the Sky Sports Extra channel.
Oh, they kept it alive. It was charged down.
Singleton trying to celebrate his new 4-year deal that was announced and signed today. Burrow gets the ball away to Peacock.
Well, we talk about the fact that Paul Aiton is leaving the club.
Maguire gets
got
the ball. Moon! Joel Moon with the latest Leeds try. Joel Monaghan was leading the protest to James Child about something he believes he saw in back play, but Joel Moon gets his 9th try of the season.
Simple, effective power. That's what's been on display from Leeds. Look at Singleton through here. It's getting a very tired Warrington defence. And from short range, thank you very, very much indeed. Moon came at pace. That's how he came into it. There's no way in the world that Richie Myler was going to stop him. But the point I was making about the fact that Aiton is moving on next season is that little Rob Burrow is a fine substitute and he can play that spot.
And he's just signed a new 2-year deal recently, so he is here probably for the remainder of his career, Rob Burrow.
And what a great career it has been.
What about his partner, Danny Maguire's pass there? Just put Joel Moon right on top of Richie Myler. That's all he had to do on that occasion. Physics will take care of the rest.
So 34-10, kick to come. This for 36-10. Looks like the Rhinos might well be marching on at the top of the table tonight. Saints at Catalan tomorrow. Sinfield out to the extras, 36-10 it is.
If the man hitting the pass, Eddie, is running like his life depends on it, the guy defending the play has got to do doubly extra hard. Richie Myler didn't on that occasion, and Joel Moon took him over the line. A very talented player, isn't he? You like to see him get early ball. He didn't on that occasion. Very late ball to the line, but his strength took him right over Richie Myler. He's got a score now that will push Leeds into a winning position in this game, if that wasn't already the case. I admire how well they're doing after such a good semi-final win over St Helens, such an impressive semi-final win. Well, Saints claw themselves back into that game. I think everybody watching we're blown away with Leeds' start in particular and the way they went on to seal the game. To come back here in Super League and do the same to Warrington Wolves, it's a huge effort.
You know, last year Leeds were distracted by Wembley and distracted after Wembley, and their season in Super League really did fall apart. There is no sign in 2015 that's going to happen again, is there?
No, you're right, Eddie, and they feel confident. And when you look at the bench as well, you know, Burrow, Luluai, Delaney, Singleton, that is great depth. And he knows it as well as the coach, Brian McDermott. But they have outplayed Warrington in every single department tonight.
You know, they are doing well, Eddie, when you consider that possibly one of the best 5 players, Steve Ward's not even out there. He's going to miss the season. He started the year in great form, obviously injured now. We don't mention him, but him and Jamie Jones-Buchanan, Liam Sutcliffe, you know, the players they don't have, and yet they're still by far head and shoulders above everybody else. The worry I would have thought if I was a Leeds supporter would be that it's unlikely we can play this well to the end of the season. We're going to lose the game at some point, just where and when.
Good run from Rhys Evans. Monaghan, the Warrington skipper, a dummy half, finds Myler. Crossfield kick from Myler. Well, he looked up and he pinpointed somebody and he found Kevin Sinfield.
And again, a lot of talk between the Leeds defenders. They really work hard for each other. Systematic in when they bring it away from their own half. They play the ball quickly. Both the wingers, Briscoe and Ryan Hall, they're not adverse to putting the body around and taking the wing. Just take a little bit of relief off the forward pack.
I wonder what Warrington supporters are making of this tonight, because they need to find consistency in the next 7 rounds. Consistency that has been lost to them this season. They've yet to win 3 in a row in the Super League.
Yeah, not the best offload there by the little fella, Rob Burrow. There was always too much traffic hanging around the second rower, Carl Ablett. But I've been so impressed with the Leeds forwards tonight.
The inconsistency of the Warrington Wolves, Eddie, it has been a talking point. The 2 victories against Leeds, people have always highlighted them and put them into context. When they beat Leeds, after they beat Leeds, they lost their next 4 games. In fact, they lost 5 out of their next 6. The following game, they went and beat Leeds again. So 2 standout results amid some very mediocre performances from the Warrington Wolves.
Kevin Penny didn't make any ground forward then, but made 50 metres sideways. Here's Joe Philbin. To get past Maguire, which he does, but there are reinforcements there in the shape of Rob Burrow and Mitch Garbutt. Darren Clark.
And again, Leeds just slowing play the ball down. They're very, very clever at that.
Well, Brett Delaney's injured here now. They can continue to come to the left. They've got to play on one leg.
Myler, they do come left. There is Delaney. He might be on one leg. He makes the tackle. Ratchford was the dummy half. Sandow with the crossfield kick. Oh, well claimed by Ryan Hall. And he wants to get on with this quickly, and he will do. On the whistle of the referee. Gives the ball then to Hardaker. There's a hat-trick beckoning here. There's a hat-trick beckoning here. He's not tackled. And
he can't get it down.
The ball on the line. Or does he?
Well, he spins the body around. This is going to go upstairs, no doubt about it.
They have the hat-trick. They have the hat-trick try.
You have to see where he finished up, looked like a try.
And he's just shrugged his shoulders to it. He hasn't a clue either.
No.
What are we talking about? We're 100 metres away from it. He doesn't know. He just plunked the ball down.
Distant to target about 100 metres.
Well, it's all about where he puts the ball. Is he tackled at that point? Does somebody get a hand on him while the ball-carrying arm's on the ground? I think at that point, there's no sign that the tackle is complete. The ball and the ball-carrying arm must be on the ground at the same time as is held by somebody, which is not around the legs, or someone can place a hand on him when the ball-carrying arm is on the ground. Does anybody do that?
Before we get to the big decision, can we just give Darrell Clark some credit here, because this might be awarded. And his effort to bring Hardaker to the floor before he hits the ground is a big thing.
Well, I think he's released him before the ball-carrying arm hits the deck. So this should continue on.
Yeah, so you could find a frame there. That's why I don't agree with it slowing down. You find a frame where Kevin Penny's got his hand on him while he's on the ground.
But the ball-carrying arm isn't on the ground. And that's a crucial point. And so it's, for me, it's play on from there. And I think the video referees are looking at the same. So where does he put the ball down? He's certainly held up at that point.
But it's still moving. He is still moving. And moving. He's short.
Well, he's short there, and he's held. And I think it's just short, isn't it? He's just short of the line. I don't think there's ever a point where he gets it over the line.
Eddie, there's no debate on what's the top try saver, never mind the top try this week. That's a sensation from Darrell Clark. He's done it twice. Stopped him once, got back up and prevented him from
They've got to be
again.
absolutely, was sent up as a try. Just remember that. Just bear in mind they have to be absolutely convinced it's no try. It's worth saying.
Should they be looking at this, Stuart, in your favoured normal speed?
On that, yes, but I still think there's enough evidence there to show that he hasn't got over the line. His hand's on the line, but the ball isn't on the line. I think there's enough evidence there to turn this down.
Ooh. For once, I'm going with Stewart. It should be turned down. No try.
There you go. Stewart knows his onions, and Steve-O backs a winner.
It'll make a change, but what a wonderful effort. And it just shows you the ability of this Rhinos outfit. Way down.
Leeds are getting the ball back. Leeds are getting the ball back.
He was held short of the line, so it'd be play the ball.
And this is the okay. This and that. Right. All right. Okay. Of course, that was only the first tackle, wasn't it?
Boy, what a hit from Penny.
Well, Warrington might get the ball back now.
What a hit. And Callum Watkins gives him a little slap and says, well, what's happened? Has he penalised him?
For a high shot. It's round the head. Well, they're not getting any luck tonight, Warrington.
Is Peacock winding up for another one?
This is Sinfield. Oh, now Warrington will get the ball back. courtesy of Ashton Sims. Ablett couldn't take the pass in. He was looking for a glory try on this milestone night, his 250th appearance in the blue and amber. So after all of that, Warrington survive.
Oh, look how quickly the Leeds defence. We're nearly 65 minutes into the game, and Leeds look so fresh.
Hill to his feet, plays it. Clark, good pass away. Here's Sims, now Sandow. Oh, Sandow with the drop of the shoulders, and good work by Kinehorst. Myler, he'll hoist the kick, and that's a bit too far ahead of all the Warrington attackers. So Ryan Hall, bleached blonde at Ryan Hall.
Gee, I'd like to know what Richie Myler was thinking when he kicked that ball. That was never in a million years going to put pressure on these back three from the Leeds Rhinos. He's lobbed the ball. He's off the Catalan Dragons at the end of the year. See how he operates down there. But that really was a nothing kick.
Do you think maybe a tired kick, Brian? I think when you get to the 65 minutes, the accuracy of kicks tends to deteriorate, doesn't it, as the game wears on?
Don, I think you've been generous there, Phil. I just didn't think any thought went into that kick.
Bit of a problem with Ryan Hall. He's received treatment way out in back play, but Rob Barrow trying to tiptoe through the tulips.
On the end of another offload, this time from Kylie Luluai.
Got to be the bomb, or will they go for distance?
No,
they're going for the ball.
And it's such hang time that here come the Leeds Rhinos in the shape of Hardacre. And that's the difference between that kick and the Myler kick, isn't it? That had the hang time. It was twice as high as Myler's.
You got to give your chasers something to aim for. You got to give them a chance, especially with the Leeds Rhinos backs. You want to stand them underneath the ball. When they catch it, you're right on top of them. You don't want Ryan Hall, Briscoe and Hardacre to get a run at you.
Free play. Oh, they bring it back now.
Yeah, it wasn't the best pass, but it was worth a bit of a problem there. Toby King.
Ben Crew tries that short pass. It's set up 1 or 2 tries this season, but Watkins reads it and pass goes to ground.
Well, we've seen how effective Leeds have been tonight with the inside ball. Will they make one drive and then bring someone in on the angle? Keep your eye on the fullback, Zach Hardacre.
Be a disappointment this for Warrington, you know, because they ended the weekly rounds impressively. 44-6 winners at Castleford. They must win at the Jungle again before the end of this Super 8s.
I went to that game, Eddie. I was blown away with their performance. I'm sure the Castleford Tigers were as well. Absolutely dominated the home side from start to finish, the Warrington Wolves, in very wet conditions. But they haven't been able to carry that form into the Cup semi-final, or indeed in here tonight.
So Moon, 10 metres away, finds Sinfield, finds Maguire. Short ball to Jimmy Kinehorst. Hasn't he come on this year, Kinehorst, by the way? Plays the ball to Maguire, and it's grounded in goal by Ashton Sims, so it's a goal line dropout.
Yeah, neat little dummy and a little push through. They look very, very tired, don't they? The Warrington outfit, which is no surprise.
Well, they had the draining semi-final here, and
one day less
than losing it.
One day less to prepare for this game than Leeds.
36-24 to Castleford. They are 12 points ahead.
Big possession difference as well, Eddie. Rhinos had 10 more sets. That's translated into tackles. Tonight, Warrington Wolves had to make about 86 more tackles than the Leeds Rhinos. That will take it out of you. And you're getting dragged all over the field, aren't you, by the Leeds Rhinos? You're shifting the ball. You never settle in your position and make a tackle.
So 6 days preparation for this compared to 7 makes a difference, does it?
Short turnaround here really for Warrington, and they've not been able to live. But I don't think many sides could have lived with what Leeds have done here today. They really are at the peak.
It's nothing to do with 6 days recovery in 7. Leeds have just been too good on the night.
Yeah. And they know that their opposition is just running out of gas. And their ability to offload more and more and support the man carrying the ball has been superb tonight. The switch has been effective, which we've seen yet again. Moon with another one. Maguire's on his way.
Maguire's on his way. Maybe he should have given it to his old mate Rob Burrow, but thought better of it. Here is Sinfield. Oh, drop goal from Sinfield. That just rubs the salt in the wound, doesn't it?
Does it ever? He said, let's stop messing around here. I'll just add another to my wonderful, wonderful points record. Bang.
Get ready to go and play rugby union for Yorkshire County years later. For another drop goal, they get more points in rugby union. 23, isn't it, for a drop goal in rugby union? But he's making that look easy.
37-10. Kevin Sinfield, his third drop goal of the campaign. He's 120 points shy of 4,000 before he came into this match. Jim Sullivan, Neil Fox, 4,000 plus. 10 games maximum to go. And I just wonder whether he'll make the 4,000 point mark at the end of the campaign. It'll be another wonderful milestone for him.
Certainly would. But I'm sure that Brian McDermott will be so impressed at the way that his side has put themselves about.
It's still going on at the Jungle, 36-30 now. If that stays like that, Castleford will be level on points with Huddersfield, and Castleford will be 4 clear of Warrington. Briscoe burning it up down the right wing. Scattered by Sandow. The ball, though, is through the hands to Hardacre. Hardacre then to Sinfield. There are blue jerseys all over the shop. And Maguire is pulled down in the end by Kevin Penny.
Nice offload by Garbutt, the big prop forward. They've gone the blind side. Ryan Hall, he'll keep it alive, one-handed.
Gives it to Sinfield. Gives it to Maguire.
Just at the right moment, but I think Ratchford felt the knuckles, or maybe the fingernails. They're out on their feet, the Wolves. They can hardly get over.
Well, you've got to do everything you can to stop him. Chris Sanders had to fling his body at the ankles of Tom Briscoe on that occasion. But you are pulled across the field and pulled to every corner of the field by this Leeds Rhinos side. You don't hold on to the ball, you don't control possession, you have to pay the penalty.
Kylie Luluai got the ball then on the free play, and he gave it to Adam Cuthbertson. He said, here, you have a go.
Been very prominent again, hasn't he, loose forward Cuthbertson. Been some fine displays from the Leeds outfit. Garbutt's impressed me. So was Cuthbertson, but you look at the full-back, Zach Hardacre and Callum Watkins, they really have taken full control in the three-quarter line, and I just get a feeling there's going to be more points here.
Well, the Leeds Rhinos certainly haven't had Wembley on their minds tonight. I wonder whether Hull Kingston Rovers will have Wembley on their minds tomorrow. We'll see them at Lee in the first of the qualifiers, the middle eights. That's a 3 o'clock start, Sky Sports 1 tomorrow afternoon for Lee against Hull Kingston Rovers. The league leaders, Shield winners of the Championship against the Cup finalists. It'll be a great game, that. Ashton Sims again. Oh, that then. I think Luluai is out.
They both felt it.
Well, there's bravery on show, and you have to when you're defending. Our stats now are showing Eddie Leeds Rhinos missed 5 tackles in this game. The visiting side, the Warrington Wolves, well, they're up at the 30 tackles for missed.
Here goes Ablett.
Nice step there from Ablett. Nice little chip over. It was a good idea there by Chris Sandow. Well, they're trying the damnedest, aren't they?
Castleford have won 36-30, so they're next to Huddersfield now. Oh, here's Hardacre. Here's Burrow, unselfish. Unselfish from Hardacre. And Atwick was beckoning. He gave it to Burrow. It's a great team effort, that. Well, Leeds are getting some revenge for the 2 defeats in the regular season by the Warrington Wolves, albeit a much weakened Warrington side tonight.
And again, they utilised the inside pass. There was just nobody there. Warrington didn't have the legs in defence. No way. Back on the inside. Yeah, he could have gone for glory. He didn't. He made save, but Barrow will enjoy that.
Just remember what we said about Paul Ayton in the first half. The movement of the acting half-back, the man behind the play of the ball, he stepped to one direction, then passed it back the other. That's obviously moving the defence. Once you turn your hips and you're facing the wrong way, it's very hard then to recover. And by displacing the defenders, it creates the gap and hole. They run through it and make it look pretty easy. Look, he's running one way, they're facing him now, they're passing it the other, they're facing the wrong way, and again, out ball, in ball, makes it look easy, opens the door, straight through.
Yeah, there was no first, second marker there, Phil, and that was very effective. They've displayed that on quite a few occasions tonight. This should be so easy to add the extras.
Well, 41-10, 43-10 if this goes over. Warrington's heaviest defeat of the season. The first time they conceded 40 plus in 2015.
Well, that's it. You're absolutely right, Phil. Out to in. You're testing the markers. You're testing people's willingness to chase on the inside. When you're down by a heap of points, you're 5 minutes away from the end of the game. That's where people will shut off, will clock off their defensive duties. Brian McDermott's team were able to take advantage of that. When you're doing well, Eddie, and the ball's in your scores in your favour, tiredness never seems to come into it, no matter what it says on the clock.
Well, hats off to Brian McDermott and his team. We're getting to the stage of the season where the personal accolades are being handed out. Darryl Powell has done a magnificent job again at Castleford. Brian McDermott, possible coach of the year, do you think?
Well, I'd certainly go for him. Been a wonderful season for them. They've had a lot of adversity, and oh, beautiful. That is outstanding skill.
Cuthbertson again. Is there a hat-trick here now for Hardaker? No. Tackled by Ratchford was Burrow. Moon comes in to dummy half. There is Hardaker, gives it to Cuthbertson.
What would the score be if Stephen Ratchford hadn't been on the field? I think he's saved 5 tries so far.
100.
Hardaker again. Ablett. He's going to mark his day. He's going to mark his day with a try. He's been threatening it all night. It's his 250th appearance of his Leeds career. He's been ever present throughout. And Ablett has just put the icing on his own particular birthday cake. Carl Ablett. 10 tries for the season now. He missed the Four Nations last year. Will he be a candidate for Steve McNamara in the forthcoming series against New Zealand?
And look again, the footwork of Carl Ablett's brilliant. Obviously pushing away some tired defenders. Nice hand or outstretches to score for it. But I think it's his footwork that helps so often, puts him away from the defenders, and he's an important member of this Rhinos squad. It's all smiles now for this Leeds team as they walk back. What will be the last couple of minutes of this game? Got a chance to get into 50. Get this kick. One last try. That would be an amazing scoreline from a team that, well, they're probably season peak here today. I thought what they did in the semi-final was as high as they could play, and I thought there might be a lull after that. It's hard to be at your very best so consistently week after week.
I take on board exactly what you say, Phil. It's been a sensational performance from Leeds, but mirror it against the opposition. Warrington are busted, aren't they? Don't you think? I think these are about the last 17 standing.
I don't know, there's some very good players out there for Warrington. They've tried very hard, but from the start of the match, the control their opponents had over the game, and then the quality, look, passing and keeping the ball alive. Now there's a lot of tired players falling off tackles, which, well, you'd expect in the Super 8. We would not expect to see a 40-point gap between the two teams.
I went back, Eddie, because I thought this might arise and had a look at the sides. We see Carl Ablett stretch this lead to 49 points to 10. The Warrington Wolves side that won here, 29 points to 10. It's not hugely different. There's no Chris Bridge, no Deck Patton. Arguably, he might be stronger with Chris Sandow in the side. No Benny Westwood and Ben Harrison, but it's still a very good side and not too dissimilar to that side that won 29-10.
Well, Sandow has measured that to perfection.
Yeah, he took a gamble, didn't he, Ryan Hall? So, well, that must be going out, but it didn't. It dropped. Well, can Warrington get some consolation?
You know what, his kickoffs are great. I know he's had a bit of practice, but sometimes he shoots it hard and low, and they've been difficult to take. He had a rest for the last one. Ratchford took the one prior to that, but very difficult with his restarts.
Asatazi then, as we enter the final minute of the 80. 49-10. It was tight last night at Wigan, between Wigan and Huddersfield, and as Phil rightly says, this is a blowout in the opening weekend of the Super 8s, which is not what the organisers will have wanted. Ratchford to the in-goal area, Briscoe to the rescue. They were looking for a penny hat-trick, going on about Ratchford's hat-trick possibilities all night. Well, Penny was in with a chance then.
Yeah, good work by Tom Briscoe. He's had a fine match as well. It's very difficult to pick out a player in the Leeds colours that hasn't played his part tonight. This man has, that is for sure.
I think everyone's content on the field that this should be all over, and it will be in 5 seconds' time. They're not in any rush, Leeds Rhinos. They're waiting for the full-time siren, and then it is, and the game is all over, and Leeds have won by 49 points to 10. Tries at the start of each half from Kevin Penny, and for Leeds, Watkins, Briscoe, Hardaker, Maguire in the first half, Hardaker, Moon, Burrow and Ablett in the second. A comprehensive victory for the league leaders, who re-established their 2-point lead at the top of the table. And the table, of course, shortened down now to just 8 teams. OK, there's the man of the match, Zach Hardaker, and he's talking to Rod.
Zach, well done on the man of the match performance and a superb Leeds team effort as well. Just sum up how good that was, bearing in mind the match you were coming off the back of against Saints.
Yeah, massive. We've had 2 strong defeats against Warrington this year, and we know it was going to be a very difficult task to follow up last week, but you know, the start that we produced, and you know, all the boys and how confident we are in camp at the moment is really well, and you know, it's showing on the scoreboard today.
Paul Wellens has been saying on Twitter tonight you're the best fullback in the competition by a mile. Must be very flattering to hear that from someone as great as Wello.
Oh, especially as Paul Wellens, yeah. Spent a bit of time with him at England camp, you know, and spent time watching him play in the grand final for Saints. So, you know, people saying that about me, you know, it's very humbling, but, you know, I'm going to stay grounded and just put in performances for Leeds, and hopefully we can go very far this year.
You might have been a bit unlucky not to get a hat-trick there, but tell us about your second try, because that was a real jaw-dropper. Yeah,
it was just a few steps, you know, eyes look one way and feet go the other, so it's very special to score them tries, like I said, but, you know, I think the middles... I think the middles this week, you know, paved the way for us backs to do that. So, like I say, I think a really brilliant team performance, and you know, to get a good try is always good.
Well done, top effort. Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Rod. Cheers, mate.
Zach Hardaker deservedly getting the Man of the Match award. Leeds in top form at Wembley. Odds on, I would suggest now, to possibly get to Old Trafford on October the 10th as well. But there are a few sides around them who might have something to say about that between now and then. Comprehensive performance, great win for Leeds.
Ladbrokes,